Hoo hoo! Yeah. Catch him slipping in the silence of the night. Catch him slipping in the silence of the night. Catch him slipping in the silence of the night. Catch him slipping in the silence of the night. Catch him slipping in the silence of the night. Catch him slipping in the silence of the night. Catch him slipping in the silence of the night. Catch him slipping in the silence of the night. Night. Bouncing off the walls, you know what it is. The party room. Where it goes down. This is thing that done slip something in on us, know what I'm saying? Done cheek that joint, know what I'm saying? Show them how we hit that euphemism. Guarantee. Like a money back guarantee. Yeah. Guaranteed this is not what they looking for. Guaranteed. Let me range around it. Let me change perspective. Often coming daily with them questions. How we in maneuvers and we stepping. How we be protecting and we resting. How they sit back like we steady progressing. Like we on that down climb, down slide, down the slippy slope in a long ride. Off on the side ramp. Stacking up and building up and trying to get a state in like them ranches with them 40 acres. Promise on them. Truths is never told in the deception in them characters unfold, yeah. Guarantee. Keep it original and simplistic. Often come on complicated, afflicted. Assumptions get given. Catch what I do. Catch out like them cloudy days. Bouncing off the wall with madness. Hey, everybody else on their string freestyling in the joint, right? Might well throw that inside boss. Like, we ain't been doing it from day one, know what I'm saying? But, hey, you know, get it. Do it the way we do it. We ain't worried about nobody else, bro. Our community. Alright, we worry about our little community. Yeah. Then they can worry about their community and get better. Yeah. Call it networking, right? Some call it indirect talk. I said, oh, that's cool. Ready to scholar with it. Cause we can get out here and use our platform, and then we see everybody else's platform rise up. That's good, cause our message is being heard and transmitted and being received. Right. What I told him, I said, yo, 2026, don't send me nothing if it ain't videos. And what did they did? Most of them got the message. They sent nothing but videos. They went back. Right, cause it was like a personal shot on their product. Egg yeah. You don't want the DJ saying, oh, okay, that was cool, but what else you got on it? Alright. Show me the whole package on it. The whole kit. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe I'm just a little different, you know. Maybe too forward. Oh well. If I ain't on you, you trying to get it out there, you know what I'm saying? And you know, what do you think the other people gonna be on? Right, they gonna be on you too. We ain't worried about them though. What's that over in the corner? Who? What? I know. Not even sure how though. Anybody trying to race roaches though? Right. I got some good right here. You ain't trying to race for this. Yeah. You know, before Grim went back to his cell, you know, over there at 37 and shit. Right. Well, he in 38, you know. Right. I'm right across 37. Yeah. We locked in this bitch, you know, the homie, he done left. We see him on the TV. Yeah. Right, he gave us the whole narrative for this. Right. Gave us a narrative for this. A whole bunch of clips. Right. I said, oh snap, he gave us the mental angle, so we might well play off of it. Yeah. Alrighty, baby. Woo. Oh man, you never know what happens in the padded room, man. You never know what goes on. Right, you don't know where the mind frame might go, where questions might come across. You never know, bro. They be messing out. They be messing out. Hey, they didn't catch the show last night, I guess. Right. The world first, right? Who was the world's first person, you know? That took that journey for mankind to find out, you know. Who was edible or not. Somebody had to try it, bro. They seen an animal do it and it was like, oh snap, seen multiple animals do it and said, huh, I wonder if it is. We just trying to figure out who it was. Yeah. I don't know, man. It was just something random. And conversation was talking about like something, then donuts, then caterpillar, and was like, you know, let me just throw this out there. Just throw that out there to see if anybody might have knew. They said no questions are wrong, right? No questions are wrong question. I don't know. My teacher, hey, he used to always tell me my shit was always wrong. Right? Don't even answer his hand up in the air. It was cool though. Right? They were the same people that give you a C because I never show work. Right? You never show the work. You always show the finished result. I understood that dynamic of capitalism and stuff early. Right? I already done figured. This is right. This is the system right here where the land, right? The new god of the land is currency. Right. You can blame whoever made the first coin for that. Uh huh. That religious practice done took over the globe. Some people need to tap and do their research, find out how crazy the world really is. And the people that we perceive as crazy are actually the same. Go back, look up Article 21, Article 26. Right. Back in 1965, where all the world governments met to start on 20, 50, 100, all the way up to 250-year plans. Right. Where America made the decision to go ahead and become a corporation at that moment. Right. A lot of organizations became corporations as governments. Right. Where your strength is off of business. Right. We've been on that. That's why it's just like, yo, every 4 years, you know, it's a new cycle. Right, we're going to vote for some mouthpiece to get in there. So if you already know that the world is a business, right? If you know all the nations are business and shit, why don't you want a business guy running business, right? And we had Grandpa for 4 years and shit, right? You know how many times I seen that man in Delaware walking on the beach on a Sunday? While I'm right there at Krabby Dicks and shit, wondering why it's taking 3 hours to get into Rehoboth. Right, it usually take about an hour and a half. You know what I'm saying? But damn, you talking about 3 hours because this traffic so backed up because of the motorcade and all that shit. So they got to slow all that shit the fuck down. Plus the beach traffic coming in. Plus right where Myrtle, right where Rehoboth Beach is, it's 4 beaches all interconnected right along the ocean. So you got all them little resort towns linking in. Then visitors and everything. Cause we get visitors from everywhere. I know so many people from so many places just being down at the beach. Right, cause everybody goes to the beach any time of the year for vacation. Alright, so you never know who you meet out there. That's why we don't stun and floss and stuff like that. Bam. All it takes is just taking a picture, putting it on the scanner, and then bam, we got it right there. They want to see all kind of exotic cars and change and jewelries and interactions with people across life and shit. Got pictures with them. You know what I'm saying? Like from the biggest person that's out in the game to the smallest people that never went nowhere. But they revamped they shit and blew up in different aspects. Everybody ain't got to be on a big screen to blow up. Right. Everybody go to work every day. Be sitting back making 6 figures and shit. Sitting back still like, oh man, yo, that dude cool as shit. He out there rapping and shit. Hell yeah. Right. Most of us just use our brain to get it in a different way. I never said I was a rapper because of shit. What did I really have to talk about at that time? It would seem like anything that I wanted to rap about at the time and shit, it would have seemed like it came off as cap. That's my perspective on it. Keep it real. Anything I would have spoke on would have been cap. I would have had to put it out right then and there, and then if somebody heard it, then they would expect that I was still out there doing it. So if I'm gonna talk about like war and shit like that, and it's like, bam, I've been out of war for so long and shit, it's lost its edge to even talk about it, cause they gonna be like, damn, he out there on the field right now, just motherfucking going crazy and shit over there, right? See, but then they looking at me like, oh, bro, sitting back chilling and shit, smoked down and shit, having a good time, enjoying life and shit. What? Right, I just heard the track and shit. I'm thinking he out here in the field moving around like that, shaking. Right. It ain't safe. Let me go. Right. Let me go board up the windows. You never know where he gonna spin around at. Mhm. That's why I always say, yo, watch the message you put out. Right, watch the message you put out, cause somebody gonna hear it and be like, "Oh shit, let me see if he about that." Right, let me see if he about that. Uh, I know most people shit if you want to say something, man, you mean it. But then you can't even take that off the strength no more. Hey, nurse, what you doing, man? You trying to scare me for 4 of them, man? Right, I'm supposed to have eight inside this cup. You only gave me 3. Right. Well, 5 in that case. Right. I was gonna let you get one. Yes, indeed. We're gonna be bouncing off the walls tonight. Oh, yes, indeed. Yo, it's so crazy how we just take a negative place and we just have fun with it, right? Have fun with it and stuff, right? So when the outside come in and they perceive, they're like, "Oh my gosh, yo, is he really inside like a padded room?" Right? Give them that illusion right there. They didn't even know that's a concept, and we know how to play upon the theme of it, right? But guess what? It scares them off. It scares them off, right? It definitely scares them off. They won't come back around these parts no more. They don't want to come inside here. I'm a turn the lights off. Right, turn the lights off and let the shadow talk to him. Y'all heard it last night talking. Uh-huh. Grim said, man, fuck all that shit. I'm not going in any shadow, anything, any dark, nothing. I said, yeah, I know. Fuck around, I'ma throw you over there. It's looking kind of hungry. That's right. I told him, hey, he almost went over there. I told him it was a bad shorty over there. She got the power to suck the soul out you. He said, "Oh shit, I don't want none of that." I said, "Oh boy, that's, whoo, that's worth a try, right? That's worth a try right there." Hey, you see a woman and she says something like that to you. You tell me you ain't down for the try, man. Whew. I'll tell you, knock me right off of my feet. It's some things that get you going. That gets you going, bouncing. Hey, yeah, like the Animaniacs. Remember them things off the Looney Tunes? Yeah, the Animaniacs. Something like that. Well, man, screw Acme, bro. Screw Acme. You see how they did Wile E. Coyote, man? How many times you think that cat got a refund on all that stuff that he done bought, man? And he done malfunction. Right. I don't think he ever got to eat the Road Runner, bro. I think by the time he finally ate the Road Runner, he probably was like, man, shit. I ain't even hungry no more. Right, I ain't even hungry no more, Shit, I could have just hit up the app and got the DoorDash or the Uber Eats or the Instacart and shit, right? You know what I'm saying? And I was thinking that joint earlier, and we were sitting here like, yo, you think that at this day and age, if Wile E. Coyote knew that it was food delivery apps, you think he would have stopped chasing the Roadrunner? I say, yo, you know what would have happened? They were like, oh, what happened? I say, yo, here what happened, right? Play by play how it went down, right? Because he missed it. We out here in 3060, so, we don't want to ruin it for them back in 2026, right? But here what happened, right? So he found out that they had the delivery apps in John, right? So he went ahead and he ordered some Roadrunner. So when the Roadrunner came, during the process, what he didn't know was he was wondering why he ain't seen the Roadrunner all that day after he done ate. Roadrunner was running, and he didn't see the DoorDash truck and got hit by the shit. So the guy, he already ate the food on the way going to the coyote, he already done ate his food because it was smelling so good. So what he did was he went ahead, he just put he just put the Roadrunner inside the bag and gave it to him, Right. So secretly, it's like Wile E. Coyote finally ate the Roadrunner joint, right, with the assist of the delivery driver, right, for hitting him and eating his food. Yeah, that'd be a nice dope spinoff for it. Have to change the names and all that stuff up, right? I don't want to get hit for the likeness and stuff like that, but we can definitely make something along the lines of that without it even looking like that. All right. And man, don't even need the AI for it. I'm telling you, see. Don't even need the AI for it, see. Anybody understand how old school cartoons were? Almost everything is pixelations. Right, everything is pixelations. Drawn in the grids like diamonds all across your screen. That's why graphics look the way they look. Right, but everything starts off as a pixel. Alright. So, knowing that in mind, that's why we've been working on tools behind the scene. See, I asked somebody to be up to date. They were like, yo, The game don't look that complicated. I said, bro, you know how much mechanics are behind that game, how many systems I got behind the game and stuff like that. Right? I got so many systems that keep the health up. Right? We ain't even started on multiplayer. That's the thing. We ain't even started on multiplayer. Right now it's like catch co-op. You know, bam. You play along like you. Right now it's mainly for PC. You know, right? We ain't got it to the phone just yet. It ain't to that lines. You know, once you try to put it to devices, that's when the bread start kicking in. Right, that price factor. Yeah, and then advertising stuff like that. Yeah, that's when the arm and the leg start coming in. That's when you like, yo, GoFundMe, Kickstarter. Start reaching out to your people that you know that got some bread, right? You start hitting up all your rapper friends that got them bags, right? Start seeing if you can shake something loose. If they want to come in as like a low level investor or whatever. Most of them come in as low level investors, right? They want to see projections and stuff like that. Cause most of them would go ahead and they'll buy straight in themselves. But if they can see potential, then they bring in more people. Then that gets you more funding. Right? It ain't gonna be much. It's gonna be just like some interest. You gonna get all yours off the back end. Mm-hmm. That's like for how much hate you take. I'll probably offer it out to the public for investors to come in at like a collective like 25,000. 25,000, cause I could see that easily hitting a potential growth market of like 100,000 in no time, within like probably a 90 to 120 day projection rate. Especially if you put it out at a free to play joint, man, shoot, that jumps up. Cause almost everything's the remix of a remix anyway. You just gotta touch on certain parts. Cause there's always gonna be a market, especially a video game. There's always a market. Somebody will play a game. Most of the time, just for the challenge of the game. One of the biggest games out there sold on the market right now, or one of the top like free games in the world is Solitary. Solitary, checkers, chess, backgammon, Monopoly, Sorry, Life. Know what I'm saying? Uno. Household joints. Know what I'm saying? Household joints that are digitized. They ain't got the board presence. That's why I said, see, we going back to the we're going back to the brick and mortar because a lot of people seem to forget that, you know, music right now just happens, you know, to be a lane where everything is darn near digital. You don't really have the physical representations anymore, but people still seek them out. Right? How many times you done seen turntables come back around, get retrofitted, and come right back around? How many times records come back around? Right? Key factors like that. Tech always comes back around in some capacity. That's why I was like, if you get something the first time, you might well take the best care of that joint because you're gonna see it way down the line come right back when you want to get it years later, and it's gonna cost you your arm and a leg. Right, we were looking for some joint today. We were looking at Dreamcast, the estimation of them. I got like five of them in pristine things, still boxed up everything. Remember units, cards, and all that joint. I look on there and see the boxes telling me like damn near three bands on the auction. Three bands, and the condition that they showed it, scuffed up and all that joint. I'm looking at mine like, psh, man, I know I can get more than that. Can get more than that. Right, the box is still nice, good conditioned. Sitting right inside of a crate, you know what I'm saying? So it ain't getting no dust in it. Bad shit. Cause everything got a value. Right, we put a value on everything. Anyway, sometimes you just gotta sprinkle up on it, man. When you sprinkle, look, on, when, yeah, look, when you sprinkle, look, when you sprinkle, yeah, look, when you sprinkle, look, when you sprinkle, yeah, look, when you sprinkle, look, when you sprinkle, yeah, look. Taking and walking and teaching them lessons every day, you know. Every day I'm pushing up. Every day I'm pushing up. Every day pushing up. Putting in random hats and chalices all displaying now. You know that they watching. You know that they. What are they talking about? What are they looking at? What are they analyzing all the time? What they looking at? What they trying to talk? Never coming with that talking fiction all the time. Must be coming like I'm Dr. Seuss, be how we're hitting with these nasty rhymes. Like all the time. Something majestic like the vine. Sick of their skin like snake bites. I'm going on all night. And she with me all night. Take a long pie. Do the long night. In the AM. Give it back to you. At the perfect time, of course. Yeah, perfect view. I might sit back through the afternoon. Might take a nap, sleep into the afternoon. Wearing on, what's that scent? Her perfume. I be moving, they be trying to hope and cancel me out like I was my boy Pepe Le Pew. Hey, yeah, the patty room. You never know what's gonna go on. So look at my boy, the cartoon character, man. Pepe Le Pew, boy. I get they done censored the cartoon character, bro. That's when you know that we had some crazy times. Anytime they go back and take something like a cartoon character and label it as a negative, right? A black and white creation of somebody, right? Somebody's idea that wasn't doing anything, just doing his job, being drawn on a piece of paper and then put in motion as a cartoon or whatever, right? That we, right? That us humans supposedly got so offended by something black and white, not the animal, but somebody's idea that we say, hey, we gotta cancel that. It's putting out the wrong message, right? We had to add a message onto it to try to explain why we wanted to cancel it, right? They said, oh, because he's always chasing the pussy. I said, damn, that's the story of every man in the goddamn world, ain't it? Right. I think every man in the world is goddamn Pepe Le Pew, right? Right. Chasing after the cat. It made sense. Right. I think it must have been the right. I think it was the only one that was gone was the you know the Pride people, man. Right. They the only ones that had a problem with the shit. I said, damn, but what about all the times when she done chased him and caught him? Right? It never showed us where he was catching her. Right? He might catch her for a slight bit and then take her to dinner or something, you know what I'm saying? Then she slip off. Right? What about the time when she done called him up? Right? She did some foul shit to him when she called him. Right? There's a whole bunch of episodes where she done call his ass up. Right? Done snatch his ass back inside the one shit. He's trying to get away and shit. I said, oh. So it only works one sided, right? It's always one sided shit when it's convenient for somebody, ain't it? Yo, it sure is. Sure is. When you can play the victim and shit and get mad people to support you as the victim when you want to still be the aggressor. Okay. How does that work out? Right. Because if you keep being victim and aggressor and jank, then somebody gonna have to straighten you out. And then when they get straightened out, and it's something real, the people thinking it's just the bit or the angle that they've been using for the traction, right? When it ain't, when it's a full blown help me moment. Who knows? All can remember the 2-5, man. All might remember the 2-5, right? It ain't good to tell lies. Uh huh. Especially when there's leprechauns and all kinds of things out there looking for you. Right, trolls, disgruntled kings, leprechauns, weddings, right? Some muddy weddings looking, right? You know. Oh man, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, they're gonna take my streams one day, bro. They're gonna take my streams one day and try and use that as forensic evidence and shit. If any one of these people get touched or whatever, they're gonna say I'm suspect number one. I'm be like, damn, them niggas really did want to give me a 189-day vacation and shit. All right, that's cool. Cause all that's gonna do is give us that free paperwork, right? So when we get out of shit, we'll have their name, right? We'll have that real name written on the paperwork, right? That witness statement. You're darn right. I'm gonna enjoy it the whole time while I'm in there. You're darn skippy. I'll be like, yo, can I get this? Can I get the spot back in the west corner? You know, I like to see the sun come up. Let me get over there by the wall. I want that shit to shine right on my roommate face every morning and shit. And when he talking some shit, I'm looking right at him and shit. Shut the fuck up. Mm. Smack your ass up. You ain't even gotta touch me. You just come off like that for about a good couple of days and shit, and they waking up like that. Oh yeah, they gonna go ahead and get him out of your room and shit. You know, right now you got your own room. Now that you got your own room, you know when the nurse come through for checking and shit, she ain't gotta leave so quick. Right. Show me the power of my dollars, shorty. They go a long way. A long way. You're darn right. What y'all got going for them, though? Most of y'all sleep. Most of y'all catch us on the replay. Heck yeah, man. Yeah, we put this one system that we're trying to incorporate inside the game and joint. Right, we're gonna make another little game. I might put that inside my little. I might put that inside my little app. Yeah. Concept for this one right here is like, when you go inside of the grocery, right? When you go inside the store, you see all the people that I show y'all all the time that's in there like religiously. You might well say the church, right? You might well say the store's church, bro. Right there, and they're paying the tithes and offerings to the machines, right? Get the assets out, whatever, and then they put it back in there, right? For that chance of thinking they might come up. Yeah. So I say, yo, we're gonna make something just like that, bro. Right. You're gonna walk inside. Yeah, bro. You're gonna walk inside, and You're gonna walk inside like a gas station and all that. But you're gonna play it from the point of view of where you're the lottery. You're the lottery company, right? So you gonna have to like get people to play your little lottery machines and start putting bread into it. All right. So they're like a lottery simulator type joint. Except for you gotta make the design for the tickets and all that stuff, and then get them to the shops, and then find shops to sell them, and then go check into the stops, and do up maintenance and stuff on the machines and stuff like that. Yeah. Somebody saying, "Oh, it's not." That sound like a dope idea for a game. Yeah, we got paperwork in process for that. Yeah. Uh-huh. Right. That's why you make sure you got your stuff already in motion or already done before you speak on it. That way nobody takes your other idea and then they property and then bam, that's your $1 million that they got that you could have had. Yeah. Be the loudest in the room, be the loudest in the room. They're like, but you're the only one in the room. Uh, Give him a round of applause. Give him a round of applause, Captain Obvious there. Give it up to him for a good 15 seconds. And now everybody just stop. And just look at him and be like, dude. Right, who got the dance cap in the stool? Put that over in the corner and join. Hey, just get your ass over there in the corner and shit. Just sit over there the rest of the show and shit. Right, redundancy. The redundancy was on full display right there. Y'all seen it, right? Oh, don't time him out in the chat. Let him talk. Let him talk. Let him talk. See if he got any good backfires. Right? I don't even call them punchlines. I call them backfires. Cause he gonna say something that just makes his intelligence and stuff look beneath him even more than what they already trying to showcase. He say you only acting up cause it's the internet. Nah, my boy. It ain't cause no internet. I'm the same person on, off cam. I'm on cam probably damn near more than anybody else that's on cam. Besides like the guys that are like on the Twitch that's doing it like 24/7. Right. So it ain't like I'm out here doing any falsifying and stuff like that. Nah, my boy. My life is the shit that you spitting about in your rhymes and freestyles and shit. Right? Busting guns and pulling ops and shit like that and dropping bodies and shit. Right? You speaking on my life and shit in your little raps. Right? Shit I done went out and got marks and shit for. Alright? You ain't out there maneuvering like that. Wanna know how I know you ain't out there maneuvering like that? Wait, what time zone you in? What time is that where you at? It's like quarter quarter to four here. Almost quarter to four here. In about like 5 minutes. Well, at this current time of recording. Of live anyway. Just in case they listen on the playback, they would be saying like, what? Right, like throw them off. You put certain words in, right? Okay, you saying that it's 2 o'clock where you at? So like 2:42 at the time recording. Okay, so this is how I know right here, right? That you ain't talking what you be talking, right? That you just talking right now, right? Cause first off, you hitting me back, right? You hitting me through a computer. So therefore you're inside the house. Right, you're not coming in on the mobile vert feed. If you came on the vert feed, then that means that you're probably watching on your phone. That's right. But you're coming in on the computer desktop stream side. So you're inside your house. Right, so you ain't outside moving right now. It's more, right, you in the dark right now. You ain't outside early in the morning moving and doing some stuff. Especially not to be watching my show right now. Right, we ain't got no kind of music going on enjoying it at the moment where you out on the block more concerned with what we got going on over here instead of paying attention to your surroundings and shit. Right, so you definitely ain't no real trapper, bro. Mm-hmm. You might say you out there moving and all kinds of shit. I'm not in your town, so I'm only just seeing how you're covered with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in your town or your block around you 24/7 to, scope you out. But just off of that analyst right there, if I was right there on your block and shit, you probably be the nigga that's getting robbed. Straight like that. You probably the cat getting robbed because I would notice that you the weak link and you out of position on that bitch. And I'm going to move on you. Right? Because I'm going to wonder why everybody else ain't moved on you. I ain't going to have to beat you up or stab you or none of that shit. I'm going to just tell you give it up. If you're smart, you give it up. You want to go all gung-ho and stuff, oh man, we could play that route. I like that route. I'm going to come at you just like this, right? I came for booty. You can do this the easy or the hard way. The choice is yours. Right, I ain't coming for your ass. I came for that loot. Right, you out here looking too fresh. See if you're trying to hold on to that. Right, I know somebody that can do a lot with what you got. Right, you looking icy and flashy and stuff. Oh snap! I know some rapper cats in my town that you hit them with a chain, they gonna put that work in. Right, they gonna put that work in. I could probably give him your chain and joint. I might get a whole album. Might get a whole album back. Right. That's how hungry they looking for some ice. Hell, most of them guys are with me all the time anyway, so shit, he might be the one that's getting it right off you. Cause everybody thinking, oh yeah, blah, and they also gum hard and shit when it's somebody nice, cool, and mellow and shit. Couple dollars dropped in the phone call and conversation, they be the one that hit you. Right, be the one that hit you for something. And you ain't none the wiser. You wondering what's going on. But like, damn, you kept, right. They gonna hit you with that, man. You my man and shit, but damn, you kept talking about the bros and shit. Talking about the bros like what? You know what you did. Right. Why everybody act like they don't know what they did when it's time to answer for it? And then at that point, they want to try and get in, talking about, oh man, yo, no, man, no, yo, come on, it ain't gotta go down like that. It's like, bro, what? If you're playing in the streets, then you know it's a code. Almost everything has a code. I hate seeing these codes get broken daily. Right, the codes get broken so daily in this joint. Like, what? What? And ain't nobody there to check them on it? This whole digital escape is madness, man. It's madness. It's madness, nurse. I think Albert down the hall went duty again. Alright, I see it flowing down the hallway. Oh man, it's looking like a flood, guys. Oh shit. I think the medicine done started to kick in a little bit. You know what happened when the medicine kicks in? We go to a different mind state of a whole different mind frame. Cause you never know when the medicine kicks in, where you might end up. Insanity. No one knows when the mind breaks. But apparently it does. You know, you gotta let it break just a little bit so you can let it heal back up slowly. In a way that it does, when it does, how it does, how it does. Yeah. Yeah. That's why I say always control the narrative. And if you don't control the narrative, then it's gonna control you. And then everybody's perception, right, their perception is gonna be whatever the story is. I like when they come with the stories, bro. The stories are the best. The best. I'm telling you. They like some of the best stories. They got no kind of facts, and then they don't even know how to take the day of, and then they link it to the next thing, or even work it out into an actual storyboard, so then it progresses over time and stuff. Like, man, right? I watch all kinds of publications and stuff like that. Like I told you, like wrestling, one of the biggest ones out there, bro. You talking about the art of the promo, storyboards, right? Creative event cycle, storylines. Right, they don't even know how to do that. They don't even know how to do that, you know? How we could just take segments from like this show here and this show there and this show here and then just run into a sequence. Right? And then play it back like it was a whole live stream. Right? Like it was a whole new live stream while we sitting back chilling in the backyard playing with the dogs. They're catching a whole live stream, know what I'm saying? not even knowing that I ain't even there. Cause it was so nice and cut and running so seamless that they didn't even know that I wasn't there. Still hearing stuff that they ain't heard before. Man, I ain't getting like, come on. Come on. Come on. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Hey man, come on. It's like taking your sweaty sock off and putting it right in the potato salad and all that right at the dinner table. Right, that's what we've been doing with it a little bit. Yeah, man. Right, we showcase a little technique with this and a little professional effort with this and stuff like that, and then put it in a real short format just so it's more impactful. To where it's like, dang, that was short, but I was vibing with it. Right, because that's what catches them. They catch the smallest video, and it catches them. They're like, oh snap, I want to see more. I want to hear more. Right. It's like how you build a pyramid, right? You need your big slabs at the base of that joint. Then you build upward and right, inward and up. Right. So it's like when we got streams that's going like 6 hours plus. Right, that's premium content right there. That's a lot of information being given in that course of time right there. Especially if it's me talking with people and stuff. That's like content right there. It's full. Cause we throwing all kinds of stuff in. We took the one stream and bam, we went through and just looked at it. I had about 180 clips off of that. Yeah, right, just off of one of them. That's why I said shoot. We always looking for an editor also. Right, you trying to come up and collab on editing? Shoot, we down with that too. Definitely are. That's all kinds of ways to make bread. Or let's get that joint together. Make sure you put it on the rubber band and attach it to the roots. Know what I'm saying? When you come by for vegetation, though, you know. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, ladies, when y'all show up, know what I'm saying? Just tuck it right there inside your pocket, you know. Put it inside your wallet, whatever side you got your wallet at that day. Right. Bring it into me. Yeah, yeah. I know it's wild, but hey, we're gonna we're gonna hit them like this, bro. We're gonna hit them like this for like a whole 189 days, bro. So if this is sort of disturbing for anybody, and you feel like you having PTSD, seeing like the imagery on the screen and stuff, of a padded room and all that, you know what I'm saying? I can understand if you ain't here, you know what I'm saying? Or if y'all in sub or whatever. Yeah. But we're gonna give it a good 189 days here in the padded room. Right? The same time that you would get as if you were getting hit with a sentence. Right. Work some stuff out. Right. Hey, some people say if you have too much exposure on you, it devalues your brand. I said, but how is that? Because it can work and it can harm your brand at the same time. Right. I know what my audience look for. Most of the women they like coming around when I'm dressed and fancy. Right? When I'm at a whole 100%. Right, getting my hair done and stuff like that, out on vacation and stuff. That's when they come through, right? So they can live through me. All right, you see, live through you. Most of the artists that send some stuff and be like, "Yo, what does this sound like?" Right? I know we got the means and equipment, so bam, they trying to get that playback. Hey, we can hit them with that playback. We know what it is. If your shit ain't right, you definitely gonna know it ain't right. Put the joint right there and let you hit. Right. Uh-huh. You know where it's off at now. Right. See? Now you know where it's off at. Cause everything takes a little bit to get it going. And in life you never know which way you're gonna go until you take the trip and journey down the road. But which way you go, the left or the right, might be your fate if you don't choose right. Oh, son. I like did that right. And then follow that with another right. Another right. Another right. Another right. Right. Some people saying, well, shoot, you just went into a circle. I don't know. Is a circle really a circle? Because inside of a car, it's impossible for you to go in the pattern of a circle. Because at some point, friction or whatever is going to, right, all too many factors to keep you constantly in a perfect circle. The vehicle is going to start shifting. The density of the rubber on your tires, right? Friction is going to cause that to move. And as you start slowly wearing it down, it start getting bald. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So on paper, it look like a circle. The computer, it can make its best effort of making a circle, but even then, that ain't a circle, right? I took a mathematician course one summer over at the university in joint. I did pretty good. I came in fifth in my class. It's like 84. Right, 84 in the class for the summer. So it's like the mod classes that they got. So instead of a whole semester, you got that joint in about 8 weeks to get that full credit. Sheesh. Hey, you talking about being up late night burning that oil, boy. Like literally. Right. You talking about sitting at my kitchen table just sitting there hitting that book. With some oil, bro. With some oil, not the oil that you smoke with. Nah, like some actual oil. At that time, like going into it, bro, like we this was like right in the fall season too. We had bad storms come. Right, my power got knocked out the one night. Hey, I had a little oil joint, bro. When it had sparked that joint up, you know what I'm saying, I had the light, and we just sitting there reading the book. Right, almost down there like 4 or 5 hours in joint. Right, till I got that joint. Right, them little books that they give you, man, they don't be asking you the right questions and stuff, bro. They give you like a whole couple chapters to do, and then you go in. Right, I guess they want you to do extra work. I got this technique that I do with it. You know what I'm saying? I sit there, I read it, and then I write some questions on it. Right. Well, that's what Cliff Notes are. Right. Somebody asking the question and then somebody else writing it out. Right, I need to know that. That's how I'm gonna make my connection with it. That's if it even matters. Cause man, I think in school we learned so much. We learned so much stuff that it didn't even matter what we were learning. It really didn't. I did like the early like years of like high school. How did that really help you out if you think about it? You done shown across multiple schools and levels and years now that you done understood the basic of formulating your sounds, writing in cursive print. You got to understand the basic math with your alphabet. All right, but like think about it, yeah. The same stuff that they want people will come over here to the States and try and do. Right, we're already learning that by the time we even hit middle school. Then we gotta go to school for even more years. Like, yo, if you think about it, you go to school for 14 years of your life. Basic school, like public education, you go to school 14 years of your life. I remember when I was down in when I stayed down in Dade City, down in Florida. Yeah, when I stayed down there, was growing up. They used to have this thing that they would play early in the morning. You know what I'm saying? It was like the school little moto joint. That joint come on like yo, they played it so much. I still remember the words to that joint, yo. That joint come off and it be like din 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 din. Came off sounding like some Temptation thing, and it be like, hey hey hey, hey there, students. And there was a little chipmunk right there. Right, he had the little Alvin and the chipmunk voice. And then you seen it pop up on there. You seen the Rock pop up on there, but he wasn't the Rock at that time. Right, he wasn't the Rock at that time. He was going by his family name and joint Rocky Malabola, I think it was. Right, he was. Yeah, dog. His son went to school with me. Yep, his son was going to his school. We seen him pop up every day, pick his son up. Yeah, bro. I'm telling you, regular folks, man. Right, we already knew that he might get famous one day. Go right on down to freaking Tampa and shit on the weekend when they down there wrestling and shit. Right, all the amateur guys down there wrestling and shit. I got dudes in my town right now and shit. Like one of them, I met him back like 2 years ago, and then come find out that he's fucking buzzing right now in the UFC. Right, my boy. I had him on. I said, "Yo, Thumper, you know this cat? He right there from Violent." He like, "Yeah, I know him. I don't fuck with him and shit." I said, "Oh damn." I said, "Yo, you know he was just on UFC." He like, "Oh word, shit, okay, word." I had met him in passing, and the session and shit was like, "Oh okay." He wasn't even a rapper. Right, he wasn't even a rapper. He was paying for his boy to get like 2 hours of some time. And now you look at his boy when he comes down to the freaking little thing for the event, and his boy's song playing. I said, damn, that's a good idea. Right, that was a good idea right there. I said, watch me link up with somebody once I get down south. And that be either my pathway. See, cause I ain't even fully unveiled like my whole bag of like tricks and talents fully just yet. Really haven't. Right after we get the crib, then hey, we got liquidity back, so then we definitely fucking doing some shit, right? First thing is to get my guitars fixed, right? I got a practice guitar, a training guitar, and I got a Gibson and shit, right? A fucking $2,100 guitar. That one just sits there. It's inside of a case. I just have it sitting there, right? Cause I gotta get good with the other two. Well, I feel I'm pretty dope. I could play for about a good like 32 minutes. I just strumming and shit, and it be some dope ass sounds and shit. Right now, everybody else shit, yeah, most of their stuff it wasn't hard to learn. Some of their stuff, heavy rock stuff. Oh man, nah. See, I gotta get on the gig for that. I gotta work my way to that. Right, that thing costs too much to have to Replace strings back. Right. I had priced the strings. I got like some extra ones for it. But shoot, you know how much string that joint take to restring up, and then you gotta do a whole sound check. Make sure your shit's back tight. Get your sound back. So a lot of people don't understand that. Like, say if your piece of equipment go down, oh man, you know how long it takes for you to try and get your sound back when that equipment go down. Telling you. Cause almost everything nowadays you can't really get the same darn day. They be like, oh yeah, we'll ship it to you. You know, it's sitting in one of our warehouses. Right. Oh man, I ain't trying to hear that. I need my shit today. That's like my shoes. I wear 14-inch tennis shoes and a 14 for a half in boots, and it's like, yeah. Since, since like 19. I walk into a store and I walk out with an empty bag. I'll be looking for the trash can to put the bag in. They put a receipt. Right, they have the nerve to take the receipt and put that joint inside the bag and hand me an empty bag to walk out with. Yeah, when you done just paid for the shoes and now you gotta wait anywhere from like 5 to 7 business days for the joint to show up at your crib. And then most of the time they defective. Right, most of them are damaged when they get there. Like I had to order some Tims, and I don't know what happened to the Tims, but you looked at the front of that joint, bro. It had ink on it, some kind of ink or dye on it, and then you look inside the shit, and you seen that was like, I didn't see no spill. You know, a little paper that come with it that folds over your shit, right? I didn't see no spill, but you looked on the front of that shoe, and it looked like that. Oh man, they trying to play a sucker. They try to play the sucker around and shit and try to get off on it and not have to accept the responsibility and drink. I said, okay, I got something for you. I know how to play this right. So what they didn't know was I was streaming when I got the shits. Right, I was on the book, sitting back chilling, was just streaming and joint, and said, man, let me just go ahead and stream this and get on here and see who was doing whatever that day and shit, and then unbox at the same time. You know. Right, right. So doing all that, and I open up the shoes, and I'm like, what the fuck is up with this? Right, you know how you go ahead and take your cloth real quick. Yo, what in the world? And then you look at the cloth like, yo, why is this? And then you start looking at the paper like, bro, I don't see it nowhere else in the box. Right, it's just right there on the front of the nose, like the steel toe part of like the boots. And it's like, what in the world? Right, but you look at the whole box. You don't see it on the other pair. You don't see it on the wrapping paper. You don't see it on the box inside once you remove that to show that maybe it's something dripped into it. Or maybe it was placed and, something might got placed on it and had like a leakage or something. Like, yeah. On top of it, like, yo, on top of it, it took like 4 days for it to get to me. For the shoes to see that and be like, man, what in the world? And then whoever sent it to you, that ain't even where you send the product back to. Right. I hit them up, was like, hey man, just go ahead and take this drink back, bro. I done lost all interest in it. Right, go ahead and send my bread back. Y'all tell me where you need your shoes at and all that joint. I ain't even wear them. Nothing. Alright. You know they try to sweeten it up, be like, "Oh, sweet deal, please don't leave us, please don't leave us," and then they give you a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, please don't leave us. You know we're real small, and then they started leaving, and you know then they actually started saying, it wasn't like that on anything, man. Like that illustration right there could have been like, you know, you the top information gatherer and joint in like a whole new stream naked and network and stuff. And they like, oh man, like we'll double your salary or whatever for you to stay with us. Know what I'm saying? Don't go to them guys, right? You'll be slaughtering us if you go to them guys. Uh, Put you in that compromising position. Some call it compromising position. I said, man, that's just another instance of life enjoying. All right. But hey, sometimes you gotta put people in those things. You gotta orchestrate and get them in them type of situations. See if they actually stand on it. Yeah, see if they actually stand on it. Cause man, there's a lot of cats out here capping nowadays. I guess, I guess we can go through the YouTube short and just go through and just watch them joints and just catch them like pow, pow, pow. I guess. We just had the YouTube preacher man joint, right. He tried to talk some stuff again right when we popped up on him Sunday. I'm like, oh bro, we ain't even trying to get on that on you or disrupt your joint. We just popped up, was like, yo, grand rising to you, my boy. That's how we came with it. Straight like that. That's all we put. No more, no less. Know what I'm saying? I was like, man, what in the world? This guy, he starts hitting up the stuff, was like, yo, what you mean by that joint right there? I said the same way it's written out. You do know how to read, correct? Then he really started getting frustrated. He hit me with a whole bunch of lines of like garbage or whatever. I was like, what in the world, man, this guy? He said, who? Gonna go do what? The what? And do it the who? And boys ain't doing yet. They gonna mess around and have us with a whole saga of the legend of the 2-5. Right. How we put these puzzle pieces out here. Right, I told you we went over it one night and shook some stuff up when we had even the OGs like, God damn, I like the way you move. Right, I was feeling like some outcasts, so what we did, we dropped some outcasts for y'all. Right. It's wild. You notice how I don't share my stuff that I upload and stuff, but I share y'all stuff. Right. Why I need to share mine when this is the platform? I'm already on the platform, getting it. I know right off the thing I could put inside of an episode. I can have it as a short. It's gonna do at least one, minimum one view within like the first 15 minutes. Probably faster than that. Right, bro. The mobile side, they love it. They love it. I had a lot of them say, "Yo, I like them. I like your art that you be having running in the back." Right. See, we got some more stuff that we working on, even on that aspect, so we can have the dope visual joint jumping off on the phone. I ain't really seen too many content creators do it like that just yet. Matter of fact, I seen a couple guys. He subbed with us earlier today. Salute your brother, man. I can't recall your name at the moment, but I would definitely do my due diligence to find out. Right, shout you out. Right, correctly. Yeah, he was playing. He was playing the game. I came across the stream on the game. I'm wondering why on YouTube his joint kept saying like nobody was watching, but I was watching. I was inside the chat. I went over to the Twitch where his main joint was going off and all the whistles and bugs and stuff, all the doodads and stuff, and I'm like, dang, he got like fucking about 1.2 mil on this shit right now. Right, like subscriber, but he still had like a minimum of like 30 something thousand watching. I'm like, damn, bro. Right, you doing wrestling numbers. Right, you doing WWE arena numbers for the night. Right, that's what we trying to get something like that. Probably not like that, but we trying to get it digital like that. Right, bro. And, hey, if you go back and you look at verses, go back and look at verses and stuff, right? And look how packed the venue was for verses, and you'd be surprised thinking that them places would have been filled, filled in. Nope. You look at the presence of verses and stuff. Shoot, battle rap, and done took the position of verses. Right. You get two guys with their camps and stuff, and you look how packed the building is, and then when they pan that camera out, you're like, "Could." Oh yeah, breaking news. I just, hey, the Roach just told me breaking news. Yo, overdose music, man. They just hit another milestone that I didn't even know that they had to hit. But yo, they got recognition today, right? They got recognition today with World Star Hip Hop for You Got Mel, World Star Hip Hop. So that obviously tell you somebody listening, right? People are listening, right? See, it might give more credibility also too, might give more credibility also too, cause some of them circles we frequent, right? Some of these groups where we be sharing GBA radio in, some of them key players be happen to be on it, especially on social media, Facebook and stuff like that. Oh man, right? I have a whole right chop all y'all stuff together and then bring it back to you later on. Once it's already like a whole better production mix, almost seamless, you know? Yeah. And then bam, the episode on the book that gets shared about anywhere. I think I'm in like 60 something groups of just straight music. Right, so it gets shared to like all them groups there. And just for it getting shared there, I think just off of the Facebook, I might get about what 2, 3, sometimes 1,000 plus views on that joint. Cause that's just like trying to add it up off the top. Know what I'm saying? I'm definitely like super downplaying it. Yeah. Cause on that side, it's like bam, mad people show up. Mad people show up. That's why I'll be like, yo, they be talking about, oh, well, you only had like 2, 3 views and stuff, and it's like, dang, the same show is on, and my socials enjoying it, right? I done had about 10, 15 just on the live. Depending what time of the day it is, right? They ain't even jumping inside the chat having conversation, right? They already know what I'm on. That I'm in work mode, right? They sit right down. They just be tuned in. Only ones that mainly talking like the accent in the joint. Yeah. They trying to figure out, yo, what you got going on and stuff. Heck yeah, they trying to figure it out. Huh? How can she insert herself back in as a missing puzzle piece to my completed puzzle? Uh-huh. Right, she gonna change her color and trying to camouflage on top of another piece until I expose it. Hey, some of y'all ladies, y'all got the green, right? Y'all got the don't, right? You got the free pass card anyway. Now that don't mean go out and bang my homie and join like that. That ain't the type of card I said you got, right? You only got that call for like the next 15 seconds, right? Well, I found it when it had like hours on it, but I at least gave you the effort of it, right? See, it should speak on something. Skill level issue. You should have took that little time you had and figured out how to make it a permanent. Hey, yo, y'all ever seen that movie Limitless and joint, bro? With them little pills and joint, them NZTs and joint. Then the CW picked it up and made a series of it. I said, yo, that was crazy. He was hitting her with a little canister that was actually making her sick during the time lapse, the late time lapse. That way I can find out what you know. Be my informant on the low. They'll never know how the info just be so juicy and stuff. They'll never know how they just get that info and it be so juicy, you know what I'm saying? And that info be juicy sometimes. I said everybody talking. Everybody talking. 48. Seen it on the 48. Everybody talking. Everybody talking. On that 48. Seen it on the 48. Put you in the room. So they have a bag of chips on my ashtray with her. Lucy on the side and a big and to light it up. Yeah, they steady talking. On that 48. Yeah, they steady talking. Seen it on the 48. Seen it just the other day. He shot his homie, thought he was gonna get away, but he told on his other homie, then he got him caged, and he went on the road, and he escaped for a day, maybe about 4 months, but he ended up back in the cage. Everybody talking. Seen it on the 48. Everybody talking. Seen it on the 48. Everybody talking. Everybody talking. Everybody talking. Everybody talking. Sitting on the 48. 48. Yeah. We ain't even gonna turn up to the full maximum on them, just on that one right there, just cause they can't even keep up with the frequency of the supernova that we come with in different sound, different ways, that we going off the wild, off the top, been a while, off the top, mind, earth frame, when it's rearranged. Yeah, big lighter flicking as the lessons of the magic, taking off like I'm potion with the dragon, in a mystical fight, somewhere in the, I seen that girl in the, I seen that girl looking, I seen that girl looking so fresh, something like a gym type. Can she go and rock them like? She said nah, but I'm moving on. Study advancing. Oh man, he ain't even keeping up fast enough. See, I was trying to spit what he had going on the screen, but then he walked away. Dang, Grim, what kind of homie? You always do that joint to me, bro. Right when I'm on fire with it and joint, then you walk away, put your thing, talk about, oh yeah, I'll be back. Oh, bro. I was going off of what you had going on with the screen right there, right? See? Was improvising, bro. I wasn't rapping, I was improvising. Right. I was doing projective imagery. Right. I was translating what was going on in a unique way. Right. Some of them call it bars, I guess. Mm. Can't really tell. You really can't tell sometimes. I don't know. I hear all kinds of stuff. All kinds of stuff. They said what? You said, am I talking to the voices in my head? You're inside my head? Damn, that's crazy. Nah, I ain't talking to my voices in my head. What are you talking about, man? You typing inside of the chat, right? Right, you typing inside of the chat and I'm responding back to your type in the chat, right? Right, so your chat messages is sort of like your voice. Yeah, so it's like I'm responding to your chat. So how am I talking to voices in my head? Like what's your like go ahead type it in. I see your little thing moving, type it in. I want to hear your logic on that. 'Cause that sounds profounding. Right? It sounds profounding. I want to hear your opinion on that because it sounds like you're going against the wave right here. But hey, I like people that go against like that. Yeah, cause hey, you ain't never wrong. People might tell you you're wrong, but hey, keep going with it. Eventually, your wrong might be right. But then all that effort that you done put in, you might have just settled, and been like, well, who really cared? Right? Who really cared at the end of the day anyway? Right? They always say that you love the person you give your most energy to. You really do. Right? 'Cause that love goes into like, right? Because you got to show emotion to something. You got to love something to hate it. You got to. So at one point you had to like it a lot for you to be bashing it all the time. Yeah. Especially if you never change the energy on it. We see it in the community all the time. Right. How many times Freddie got fucked up? Right. That motherfucker resilient. Right, that motherfucker like a T-1000 unit and shit. You gotta toss his ass inside the motherfucking molten lava unit and get rid of him. Right, next time. Yeah. You say you got a Freddy in your town? What's your Freddy like? I know a whole bunch of Freddys in my town. They ain't never been about shit. Every single one I know ain't been about shit. Most of them are homeless. Right, they homeless. They go live in tent city and shit. Hope somebody show generosity for the day. Nah, you don't give them no money. he go grab that pipe, right? You give him a couple dollars, he gonna hit that pipe. Done seen it. Uh-huh. I know that's the crazy part, right? Because a lot of people speak on shit they don't even see and shit. A lot of people can't even walk down the old motherfucking streets. Right, a lot of people ain't even in their own neighborhood still. Like in my instance, I'm on the north side of town. Know what I'm saying? And I still go to the east, west, and south and walk through the neighborhoods. Nobody checking me walking through. They come dap me up. See what I got going on. Right. Like, come on, man. If you can't move like that around your own city, how you gonna break out and be a rapper? Think about that. If you can't even get noticed in your city, you can't get a gig in your city, you can't get a club on open mic night. Because almost every bar I ever been to, right on vacation or whatever, they always got an open mic night. Even on karaoke night, most of the cats that's playing the karaoke machine, they got a computer. All you need is your music on a little thumb drive. Psh, he'll pop that right into the thing. He had the means to play that right there from his little setup. And most karaoke cats are DJs, so they got a little table right there to spin. So he can go ahead and play your joint right there, and he got a mic, so you can go ahead and get on it. You know? Right, go ahead and build your little fan base right there. That's why it's like, yo, most of the tracks that we get and stuff is like early artist development and stuff, bro. Right. It's just like, I never knew I was gonna be an AR. If you think about it, the podcast is the new AR. Right. We know how to cut through. We know how to at least get it to the people that's got the bread in some kind of aspect. You know how it works? It's usually in passing by in conversations. Right. They might not have time to come through to all our shows, so they call up and be like, "Yo, what's going on with you, Slim?" And then we talk behind the scenes and stuff. And then they check up, make sure everything good and stuff, and then bam, I might mention your name or something. Oh man, you heard that new joint such and such got out. You be like, nah, bam, let me go check out the episode, right? Just him checking out the episode. Guess what? He might be around some people, so then they hear the episode, right? And y'all might have something that catch their attention, like, oh snap, who's that? Right. I like that. I like that sound. I want to hear some more of them. Then they, guess what? They come around. They hear some more of you. Then they start following y'all. Right. See? Networking. Networking. Too bad the guys at the Connect work, and they making it there where you can use them as the thing to get it, you know. Right, cause really, bro, if you about your business and joint, you can anything. You should be able to sell anything. Really, anything. That's how I combat it with that approach. Everything for sale, bam. What's for sale? Bam, got it. Everything must go. Everything must go, right? You got dollars in your pockets, needs that. Right, I need that. I don't want you walking away with that. Right, you obviously had it in your pocket. For means of travels and goods and services rendered. Yeah, let me get that. Let me get that. Yeah. Run it. Run the pockets. Run the pockets. No, I hear you. You know you hear me talking to you. Run them pockets. Run them pockets. You hear me? Talking to you. Run them pockets. Run them pockets. Run them pockets. Run them pockets. Hey, run them pockets. Run them pockets. Run them. Run them. Run them pockets. Yeah, yeah. We should make something off of that joint right there. We said we just then make something right there, a little beginning of something right there, you know what I'm saying? Run them pockets. If you talking like you know 'em, then that shouldn't be showing. Everywhere I'm going, coast pop out, looking like a lottery ticket. Like I moved through the city, hitting all lines, right, hitting lines, right, hitting lines like curves, hitting lines like curves with address on front lines. Moving through a static like a supernova when I'm prime time. And when I go, it's like a world premiere when I hit 'em with the mad rhymes. We inside the padded room bouncing off the walls again. Straight jockey, hey, go give 'em, hit 'em with 180 days and lock 'em in again. That boy was capping, looking for that 2-5. Show up, pull up maybe somewhere in a exotic place, don't need no ride. But they would know when we inside, when we hit 'em with a check like a G do. When you making G moves, you don't announce your moves because they right there listening to everyone and they prosecute you. Because they want you to come off the top with it like you giving them free content, but they flip it around and tell it to the Leos like it was an indictment case. Ooh, they on that paper chase to trying to trap a bigger. Ooh, right. They on the paper case trying to entrap a nigga. Bumping at the lips and gums like checks is getting bigger. Like the common 1 + 1 = 2 wasn't a common denominator when you add up the figures of the watch times and the views and all kinds of counting that they try to do accounting with. It's like, oh man, here they come with the left on some more dumbass shit. And then want to switch up on the game though. Hit them from the same shot from the same court and do it the same way though. They think I'm going when I pull up, but I don't jump when I shoot. Rewind that. Yo, DJ, rewind that joint. Right. Bars. They gonna go back and rewind that joint. They think I'm out here throwing jumpers and jumping up every time when I shoot. You know what I'm saying? Like we out here on the court putting jump shots in. Every time I ever went around, I was always solo dolo. I just happened to meet a couple people that were real and used to like to get it in. And just off the strength of that, they would just bang off the first punch. I'm looking like, damn, why didn't I get the first hit in? As if that boy came up and took my lunch. Right. Then they look at me, be like, dang, my bad. Go ahead, finish it off. Right. That's when you get all diabolical and manipulated all inside your mind when you're about to commit acts of violence. Right. Like it's all going at rapid sound. Right. Going at rapid speed like a supernova hitting supersonic on some quantum anatomy shit. They be like, oh no, bygone, bygone type shit, but we ain't trying to hear none of that. We just replaying all the memories of when you sat there and was bumping at the lips and should have called it quit when the camera and the mic cut off. But they wanted to take it even further once the show and the lights cut off, thinking that it was safe when they advertised that this ain't no safe place. When just a couple dollars dropped to the right person can get you shanked or the hammer clinked. Know what I'm saying? And now when you're looking right there in the last moments of like, damn, what did me in? They sat back and was like, ooh, should have never messed with the guy coming off the top without using a pad or pen or having to write it down. But hey, This is all theoretical. Remember, the Leos are inside the chat. They building out a profile. And it's so profile that I got cats that sit back and do stuff like that on some harassing shit. It's like, ooh, it's all cool. Wait till I get to pull that jacket in on some First Amendment type shit. Uh, Hit them with that FOIA request. And then when we get the real information, we put it out to the public. Oh, they gonna go hide and go grab a vest and try to do their best to try to avoid detection. Cause the real out here and a couple of dollars have you get void of all your future blessings. And they might send it out as balls like we coming off the top with it when we just speaking to the people on some average. Right, we ain't coming with no Houdini or fables like some magic out the hat type shit. Some might say I'm like Dr. Seuss with the hat and shit, know what I'm saying? Cock to the side with my getting my cane on. Cause when I roll through, I got a little limp that I get my swing going, know what I'm saying? But your girl likes it though. I might just walk by, she let me touch it though. But no disrespect. And she grabbed my hand and turned it the other way. Then I know I can call her up and she gonna want me to come and play any day. Know what I'm saying? Your boy out here stepping around, celebrating life every day like it was a holiday, like it was my birthday, and I'm the all-star star in me. Oh man, I'm like a trilogy or a saga or like a Harry Potter book, how they keep coming out with more volumes after volumes. Reaching for the pinnacle of the stars, when only the flight right there was just the start of it. The type of guy that'll jump out of a plane when there ain't nothing wrong and go paragliding and sailing. Same type of guy that would go out and swim on top of the ocean when it's frozen. Same type of guy that go over and look at the top of a volcano just to see the lava down inside of it. You know what I'm saying? Same type of guy that's wild enough to go out for his country and run head first at the bullets. You know what I'm saying? What they talking about? Nothing. Where the real at? Everywhere. Obviously few in numbers. Right, they coming back home now. It's crazy when you gotta wait a time period for the real to come back, so then all your dreams and stuff can start getting pushed because all the fake been out here and you couldn't find anybody that was real amongst the fake to even try to push your own ambitions. Instead, you gotta sit back and remain humble while the sheep play in the field and keep whining and missing. You know what I'm saying? With a B in front of it. We would have said the word, but it would have censored that out and you wouldn't have heard none of it. Or even understand the metaphor, the similarity that we were even going with. I told him I'm like a ninja Gaiden 5. Ain't even now unreleased when I go off the top of the mind and formulate and just practice without a pad and pen. You know what I'm saying? And as the light fades and it gets dark, I know that that light right there, that very spark that energizes and acts like a muse. You know how Ash used to walk around and had that little mouse with him? What was the name? Right, that Pikachu. The go hard, the strongest of all of them. But labeled down to a small road and we got him through all kinds of trouble. Right. Hit him with another blast off again and they be seeing double. We don't have to go out on no Roddy, right, on no Bonnie and Clyde, Roddy Rod type ish. Girl, I'm like Randy Savage. You could be my Miss Elizabeth type shit. You know what I'm saying? Alright, y'all don't know about Randy Savage. Randy Savage used to hit him with the church and had Miss Elizabeth dressing up the freshest out of all of them. Right up on the shoulder and all kinds of shit. She know how to play her position when it was right down on time and shit. Know what I'm saying? Even with the appearance, she still held down hers, playing manager for the wild man. Most of y'all don't even know that Randy Savage was a pimp. Psst. Do you even realize that shit? How we hit him with them isms and have church every time. Right. I tell them you just show them different parts of your personality just a little better every time to see if they catch on to certain shit. Right. You know, my favorite pastime is having her go out there on the blade and bring it back it in. Right. Certain price rates if you get the front of the back though. Know what I'm saying? All I know is she better get out there and make that cast though. And make sure when I wake up that wallet filled though. Know what I'm saying? Cause I'm a boss and she gonna fund me up like it was every day was a payday. And every chance I got it was a payday. And she gonna go get it and do whatever to get it anyway. Right. And if somebody step out of line, then trust believe that thing gonna come out and he gonna have to spray. And he might disappear like Casper the Ghost and never get found any day. You know what I'm saying? On some Labadi Mad Lab type shit. You know what I'm saying? Remember all the days when we used to sit back and formulate, damn, we wish we were some Dexter type lab shit? Right. Turn you into a soup cake. And then there ain't no toupee. And then he's somewhere in the bottom of the landfill for a few days. And then the container disappears and you ain't never gonna find a new day. Have him sitting like there saying, why is the ground speaking to me? The voice of the creator. That's the only one we'll ever know. Phantom of the Opera, see? David Field and Copper G. Rolling up that broccoli. Eyes low like I'm Siamese. They be hating, don't wanna sign me. So I be rapping with myself. So I sign myself. And I believe in myself and invest in myself. And I invest in myself that I see profits. And they get mad because they see me out here like, yo, stop capping. Stop lying. Stop coming with fables and shit. But then we dumb it down and we take steps back just to show them that, hey, even if we go beneath you, we still the man type shit. Like the shit was right here coming out of the tall in reverse, like gravity just got inverted and it's going up in reverse. Right. They thinking that we supposed to sit right here and fall down. When we coming up, hitting them from live streams 37,000 feet up now. Talking about the sky's the limit. I'm all up in it. I'm watching clouds formulate and all kinds of stuff while whipping up these sentences. Like my penmanshipments inside the tapestry of my mind. And they said, hey, if you rapping, then just do it all the time. I said, what's rapping though? I like just to talk a lot. I like to hit them with the knowledge off the top when I speak a lot. Know what I'm saying? And they said, well, I guess that's bars though. I said, oh, I thought it was the rhyming of the rap. Right, I thought it was the rhyming of the words like the cat in the back with the hat, with the whip. And if you talking that shit, he gonna spin your block and you get hit with the stick. Know what I'm saying? But that's the type of shit that they want to hear in the end. It doesn't matter because if you're in a box, you dead in the end. Right? You got no more life and no more time left. What you want? You want the little metal steel that hits you and hits you with a direct contact with the Grim Reaper? Got your family out there crying a little deeper, dropping tears to the earth just to dry up for no result, just because you right there when your pathway that you choose in your actions, that's your early result inside of the pine of the box, and you're sitting right there because you got no more time on your clock. You know what I'm saying? And you sitting there and wishing that, oh man, all the time that you got, you would have made better decisions with the time that you had. You know what I'm saying? So don't be sad because they took the choice that they wanted. Because if they didn't, Even after they did, nobody would have said, yo, he was never full 100. It was more like that bozo. Like some Krusty the Crown Simpson type shit. Remember? Remember the clown? Yeah, he had that drinking addiction and everything. Right. We the deaf to our own vices. We kill ourselves faster every single day. How much time you shave off for you today? That's what we need to do. Right. How much time did you spend killing yourself faster today? Unaliving yourself faster today? Right. Nobody wants to answer questions like that. They don't want to answer questions like that, but when you know a doctor tells you you got so much time expected, right? You make crazy life decisions that change your stuff up. Where you immediately figured out how to reprioritize your life to make the best effort every single second down when you know that you got limited time. So if that's the case right there, why don't you pretend every single day and just wake up to the fact that you're dying every single day? Right. So why don't you use the time that you got? So you might not got 24 today. Right. This might be the last time you hear my voice. You might not hear my voice no more. Right. I'm guaranteed tomorrow. You ain't guaranteed tomorrow. Right. We just play the roles that we got. Hopefully I see you tomorrow. I ask people all the time. They say, "Hey man, what you doing tomorrow?" Psst, probably living. Hopefully. If not, then hey man, nice to have known you. hmm I'm sorry. I just keep it too real. Somebody call it crazy, insane, whatever. I just keep it too real. Right. I don't go off the falsehood of what society tried to push on or whatever message anybody puts on. Right. I always been an opposer of everything anybody ever told me. Right. Anything anybody ever tell me, I sit there and I do my due diligence and all that to make they come to a conclusion until I have a matching conclusion on it. Right. You tell me these 26 letters right here make up the alphabet. I'm like, okay. Show me where the 26 letters make up the alphabet. Let me do my real own research on it. Okay. Okay, so American alphabet got 26. Okay, but guess what? See? If you would have asked me the same thing later on in life, I would have told you no, there ain't no 26 in the alphabet. Then they would have been like, what you mean there ain't 26 in the alphabet? I'd be like, what alphabet are you referring to? Then that would have been like, oh, see? When you know more, you ask and you expect more. Your verbiage and everything changes up. Your whole mind state changes up. I do a lot of reverse engineering, so therefore my mind step is dissecting, problem solving, theorizing. Right. Somebody tell me, hey, somebody said such and such and such. I'm like, all right, I can go back and confirm that. Right, in this digital thing, I can go back and confirm it. So say if somebody's on the show talking about me, I can just go back to the show and just watch the show and be like, oh, I don't see where they were talking about me at. So that person was right. That person was wrong in this instance. Right. So he gets no action. Now, if I do find it where they talk about me, it's like, oh, good, good. Thanks for bringing that to my attention. Right, because now I have confirmation. I know how to take and utilize it. Yeah, that's why you see whenever we show up to a show, bro, we get love. Can we give up love? We get love. Can we give up love? And then it become respect after a while. Right? Because if you can't respect somebody else's movement, how you want them to respect yours? That's what it mainly come down to, respect, bro. You send me some music in and your shit's sounding like each track is worse and worse and shit. Know what I'm saying? I just come and I just shit on you. Off the first one you done sent, don't even give you the due diligence of hearing every single one and shit. Then, the fault falls on me. It wouldn't be on you. Right? Your music could have been ass anyway, but it would fall on me because I'm the representation. Right? And you send it in. You weren't expecting that. Right now, if I came off and gave you good criticism and stuff, and you on yours, not pussyfooting and shit, and you take it and you take that and you work it and you bring it back, and we hear a whole total different sound on it and shit. You know what I'm saying? Sound way different, more the way it's supposed to. Then you know, it seemed like we gave you a betterment, right? We embettered you because you went back and worked on it, and then you did better. So you came back with your better and brought it to us so we can hear the better. Right. See, that's like working in conglomerate with each other. See, that's what we looking for. That feng shui. Right. Not, oh man, he shit on me and shit, and then you come over here. Cause hey, we don't have people come over here. Had people come over here, y'all tell me, oh, I was at this other podcast show and shit, and they were saying this and all that and shit, hurt my feelings and shit, and then you come over here and then I gotta play Big Daddy. Right, I gotta play Big Daddy, I gotta smack them the fuck up a little bit. Right, I gotta go over there, troll them and shit, smack them up, all kinds of shit. Right, all with the keyboard and shit, you know. They don't never want to catch for the fades and all that, so, yeah. That'd be the wild part, because they have a whole bunch of G's inside their audiences and shit, too. And them G's be just sitting there watching it like, damn, somebody coming at this guy today. Right, most of the G's, they just sit there and watch the show. Right, it's like, damn, he didn't respond back to that? Shit. That's why I say, even if you maneuver and junk, you gotta make your moves clear. You can't be so far outside the box sometimes. Like, we might be right there outside of the grid, but we tap into the grid. We tap into it. Yeah. Cause you got to you whenever you send like a shout out at somebody. Cause if I send shots out at people and shit, I call their names out, bro. I call their names out. That's how you supposed to do it. Ain't no secretly talk about somebody for hours and shit. You call their name out. Same way I give people their flowers and I refer for you to go to them and shit. Trust and believe, if I got a problem with them and shit, I call their name out the same exact way. Right. Even if they come through and watch my show and shit, like I call them out right there on the show, ain't that right? Straight out there in the public forum of it, right? And then if they want to talk behind the scenes and shit, then that just be a continuance of it too, right? Now if somebody calls me and talks to me behind the scene, we ain't on no live, right? I take them out of it. That's the due diligence because everybody don't need to hear stuff. Right, some of the stuff that's coming down the pipe, y'all might not need to hear because it ain't the time for y'all to hear it. Right, it's some stuff that's being theorized, put into motion and stuff like that. Right, and then when it comes to fruition, then guess what? I'm that mouthpiece for it. Right, I'm the mouthpiece for it. I bring it to y'all, and then now y'all know about the opportunities available, and then you can act on it. Now, if you don't act on it, then that's not on me. See, like I was saying, how the responsibility falls, that wouldn't be on me. That would be on you, especially if you were the artist and you trying to get blown up. Not blown up like, like, but you trying to get that extra exposure. Yeah. That's how I see it. Like, yo, I told you, if I'm coming out here and I'm trying to fully get out, like as a rapper or something, bro. Even for me pushing my records that I got, I still come at the same rapper approach that I do when I come to other podcasters. Right? I don't care if your platform is small. That track right there, I put some heat on your track, put some heat on your station, bro. You gonna be buzzing. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Bangers we get sent through our joint, and them cats be like, "Dang, yo, I wish I had that on my show." Exactly, bro. Exactly. That's why I said, see, like if you pay attention real closely, you can see what connections are. You can see what connections are. You can see where we go, and you can see who resonates with us, and then you can see all the other shows where they might be going on, and you don't see us have a presence there at all. Right, and then you look at them and like right, you go check them out yourself. That's why I said do your own research. Y'all go check out the audio fam and shit. Like most of y'all probably got shit on by the guy, so I understand why you don't go over there. Y'all go check out the National Song League, the NSL, Triple C's joint. Right, he's on almost every night now. Yeah, so he's playing around the clock too. Right. That's why I said everybody got their own different programs, bro. We ain't trying to copy nobody else's programs. We got so much stuff going on to where we just started off a whole different angle and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's like can't worry about what everybody's got going on. We'll come check in on your movements. Trust me, we'll definitely show up with your movements. Right. Most of them realize, you go inside the chat, you hit them with our hashtags that we got that's trending. Right, we'll hit them with the GBA Nation hashtag, or we'll hit them with the talk to them. Right, if it's some gangster stuff, some real joint, we hit them with that talk to them. Right, because we got that tag trending, so we hit them with talk to them. So what it does is it gets moved inside that category. Right, GBA Nation, we hit it right there, letting people know, bam, pull up. That way you get an alert, pull up to this. Right, because when we show up in droves, you know what I'm saying, that helps them out, helps their program out for the night. Plus, same time that gives you an opportunity as the artist, know what I'm saying? This give you an opportunity to find out how to submit your stuff, so then you get it heard by a bigger base, right? By a bigger base. At least catch a critique on it too. So if we ain't live, then bam, hey, bros is online, so if we ain't live, you check him out, send your music over there, and get a review also. Usually he got a couple people on there. I know during the season it's like full. They really don't take like the submissions till like the weekend, but right now, bro, it ain't even season time right now. So it's preseason. So you go over there, find out more information if you want to get with the LNSL. I told you if we get us enough in our community to where they want to participate, then hey, I already had the opportunity and an offer to be a coach. So, we could come straight in there with already a team, sort of like a team. Right when they did the draft, I already have y'all like picked at my draft. We do some trades and make sure I get my team. Right. And we probably got some ringers already. I'm telling you, that league is pretty good. Pretty good. Hey, some of the stuff y'all done sent in, bro, it can match. I done heard some of the stuff. Like, if you go back over the streams of some of the music that went in and we did like mixtape on mixtape, like for nights that they had going in, I would say my underground artists that come and rock with us and joint, bro, I would say that they gave a fair chance like every single week where we were matching the frequency that they were putting off of battles for 14 weeks. Telling you, of 14 weeks, bro, we were matching frequency and frequency. Especially even nights when we had the track going off when we were streamed too. Right, I sent one of my tracks in for a round of the joint. Right, mine's has that shock value to it. Right, it has that shock value to it. It's either the beat got you like, damn, or the lyrics thing got you like, huh. Right, it got you listening because you trying to see if it's a lesson or what did, yeah, what is it about? Right, what is it about? It might be telling you a life lesson and then shit. You might have missed it. You worry about right. You worry about the whole package of it, not even knowing that that's how that style of music's made. Like a lot of people, hey, most of the stuff we have, like my back collection is ASMR, right? Elevator music, some would call it. They don't even know that stuff be selling, right? Cause they ain't never been in that market space for it. That's what I'm saying. Music, bro, is so many market space for music, so many different genres. and stuff to where you really can't go wrong. You really can't go wrong. You just gotta find your sound and your lane where you resonate at. You gonna come off and hit them with some information, know what I'm saying? On like some subliminal like Wolfgang type stuff like how is it? History gets forgotten. And we live the same thing, different ways every single day. Like it was a distant past, and the past is the present, and the present is the past. We emerge like we live in an ancient Egypt, like we are in the United States. What's up with the symbol of the parallelism? No, it's not. It's just looking at you in your visions. Yeah. Profile and cloud your vision. You've been programmed from the beginning. School days like elementary, and now your mind is shut. Now your mind is programmed to see different perspective. You've been programmed. Now your third eye is closed, never to be open until you open up your eyes and re-emerge. Wake up, people! The truth's right before your eyes. You just don't want to see it. When's the last time you looked in the mirror? I look in the mirror all the time. I like the person that I see. I see some changes that are being applied to the person that I see. I see the person right in front of me, strong and always with confidence. I also know at the same time that the person might have some weaknesses. But guess what? They work on them every single day. So then the weaknesses ain't weakness and then they strengths. And then you know what? When they get up on here on this internet thing and the rest of the world sitting there trying to figure out what angle they could try and break them down for the day and all that, you know, he goes back to the mirror and says, look what these pussy motherfuckers try to do today. They try to test this image of perfection right here. They thought that they could shake something. They thought they could break me down like a bridge. And all they did was just give me all their time and energy. Look how much time and energy I done stole out of them. Right, all them breaths that they've never had back, but they don't invest it into me. Right. All that energy they done sent my way. I love when they do it for the audience. I love when they do it in front of their audience. Cause I know their audience be sitting right there like, yo, why are you giving this dude all this fucking time? Just play the next fucking track. For real, I know their audience be like, yo, play the fucking track. I even go back on the streams and they're like, yo, just fucking just forget them people and shit, man. Just play the next shit. That'd be funny, especially when people done paid for skips and shit and you done disrupted their feng shui. Oh man. That's why I said if I fuck with you and shit, you in the clear, bro. You in the clear. I'ma come over and hype your shit up. Keep your chat engaged, all kinds of shit, know what I'm saying? On the mobile side, mobile desktop side, right. I'm gonna be like, yo, smack the screen 2 times if you're trying to leave a light. Yeah. Because most people don't know that on the phone. You know, you got to double tap the joint. Yeah, if you double tap the screen while it's on full mode in joint, it leaves the light. You see the little light pop up. Yeah. So some of y'all, they might not knew that. So now you know. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But if we don't like you, oh man, we're going to hit your ass every single week. Every single week. I'm going to make that commitment on them. Every single week. That's like we just fucked Freddie up like 3 times last week, right? Right, so we gonna fuck Freddie up again this week. And then if Freddie end up lying to me about the 2-5 and shit, then I'm gonna have to really fuck Freddie up. I'm telling you, bro. Some of y'all thinking I'm gonna be that one. Right. Some people already done told me on behind the scene. They say, yo, you might be the one that get the Freddy ass. We know that you just radical like that. I said, damn, shh. Don't tell anybody. Right, don't tell anybody. Shit. Right, don't tell anybody. I want it to be a surprise if it does go down. You know? At that song, hey, at that time, right, dog, I got the perfect beat for it already. I got the whole perfect beat for it, so I'm gonna have to have a hard ass verse on that shit. Right, I'm gonna have to have a hard ass verse on that joint. So when that man tried to hit me for 3 to 5 and shit, that song could be out here banging. That way, when I come back, I can fuck the rest of them up and shit. Right, I'm gonna fuck him up once again and not get the double jeopardy on it. Right. Cause shit is on it, man. I'm telling you, that's the thing when somebody put that work out there, man. They don't even have to say it. It's inadvertently put out there. They don't be saying who be. That's why I say you gotta be careful with what you say and your moves, cause man, people put that shit out there, bro. Right? How many times do you gotta put in a video that you want somebody done before somebody sits there and notices that you want them done and shit? Right? But then it can also come. It can also get misread. Also, yeah, it can come off being misread. Cause if you look at it and you see something like that going on, and then you see it and you like, all right, shit, let me put that work in. Right, that person might have wanted to put the work in themselves, but now the work came in. So who gonna be the lead people on it? You ain't gonna be none of it. Hey, look, you ain't even gonna be in the conversation. It's gonna come back on them, right? You don't want to hinder your folks up, right? Somebody go touch Freddie ass and shit. Guess what? They're gonna go back and they're gonna look into it, and then they're gonna say, "Oh, well, shit. This man was involved in this, this, and this. He got all these visual depictions of all kinds of shit of him getting fucked up from here to there and bones broken and all kinds of shit." Then they're gonna look and say, "Oh, well, shit. This motherfucker over here been spending the shit out of that." Right, he got a whole bunch of that over on his channel and shit, right? So they gonna connect that shit up. So either way, guess what? Something happened to the man, they gonna try and grab everybody ass and shit. I wouldn't give 2 shits. I'm be like, yo, that man should have washed his fucking mouth. Right. Give me my day of court with that man accusing me of some shit. I'm really gonna fuck you up. Right in the courtroom. Right. Hey, Your Honor, well, shit. If he's coming out on some shit and he wants to play Mickey Mouse and shit, right, we can play that shit too. Right. When they say no snitching and shit, man, fuck that goddamn rule. A motherfucker trying to take me down on some cold conspiracy type shit, bitch. We playing clips and all kinds of shits. Right, we catching you on all kinds of shit. So we getting some time, your ass getting some time too. Right, you going to the same motherfucking place we going to, and we gonna have a lot of time with you. Uh-huh. You ain't gonna have no protection from your people. Right, what they gonna do? Get on the little phone call and shit? They gonna call home, call one of their co-hosts and shit, try and get some protection for them in there and shit, and they ain't got no kind of pull out on the streets. Ain't no active steppers and shit. Right. Okay. Good luck with that shit. You gonna be in there by yourself. By yourself. I'm telling you, depending on how much time shit that motherfucker might turn into my pocket wallet. Right, you turn in my pocket wallet. Hell yeah. I don't give a fuck if I need it, you gonna get it. You open your motherfucking mouth right there, you tangible and shit. We gonna break that goddamn nose. Right. Fuck up all that soft flesh. Right. Don't make me get creative and really want to start spending big. Right, I'll find some niggas with some clone and all kinds of shit. Find where the store at. Right, we about to use you as a credit card. Hmm. I be like, yo, this my boy right here. Right, he ain't mine, but that's my money right there. Go ahead get your payment and shit. I'ma send them right down to you and shit. Right. He likes to play rough. He likes getting beaten. Soon as you come in there, gonna beat him up. Mhm. They said what? Sell 37. Uh-oh. Hey guys, we gotta hang the phone up and all that, you know what I'm saying? We about to get some yard time. Right, about to get us a little yard time, you know what I'm saying? Heck yeah. They got to. You gotta hurry up when they take the jacket off, know what I'm saying? Yo, shout out everybody, know what I'm saying? And all the voices in the head, know what I'm saying? I knew y'all weren't here, man. I knew y'all weren't here. Y'all were inside my head. That's what it was. Y'all had to been inside my head, know what I'm saying? Right, because we gotta stay with the narrative that we just bunker and we're inside of a padded room for the next 189 days and junk, know what I'm saying? Cell 37. Hey, yeah, Grim, he's in cell 38. Everybody coming through visitation, bro. We got visitation jumping on too, you know? Hey, I told you, hey, we trying to get Freddie in here, bro. Send Freddie in here. Right. Send him in here and shoot me a kite. Yeah, yeah. Cause we bouncing off the walls, you know? Sending your girl back to you after breakfast.